Guys, it is almost 2025. We cannot keep using the same language learning methods, falling asleep at our desks using a textbook, and crying over why am I not progressing in a language? I'm here to help. Honestly, the older I get and the more time I spend brain rotting on social media, the more I realize dang, my attention span is not as good as it was, and I need some new ways to keep language learning interesting. I've been doing this for over a decade and a half. Chances are, if you feel like you're not progressing, maybe you need to switch things up. Maybe you feel just stagnant. Stay tuned, because we're going to talk about the gems of language learning, if you will, the hacks, the secrets, the innovative techniques. Let's get straight into it. Okay, first up, immersion. We hear it all the time. How to learn a language? Immersion. But what does it mean, and how can we actually make it applicable and actionable to ourselves? And it doesn't mean packing your bags and buying a ticket. I wish we could all just afford to go on holidays all the time to learn languages. How do you immerse in a language if you just don't have people around you speaking it the whole time? The internet is your friend. Think about your hobbies. Personally, I love learning about World War II history. My master's dissertation was about post-World War II graphic design in Japan. And a lot of the resources that I used were written in Japanese, French, Spanish, English, and one in Afrikaans. So I took my interest or my research and I was like, why don't I do this in another language? Kill two birds with one stone, do my master's dissertation, but do my research in another language. Obviously, this is only if you are at a upper intermediate advanced level, or at least you can, your reading skills are good and you can engage with stuff like articles in the languages you're learning. Recently, I just got back from Japan and I bought a grand total of 62 books. I know, it is bad. But I really dove into my hobbies there. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent now because this video will be 3 hours long because it's so exciting to me. But I got so many interesting books about World War II in Japan and post-war history. And honestly, I feel way more motivated to be learning and studying Japanese if I'm working through a book that is interesting to me and my niche interests. Honestly, if I'm working through a textbook, let's take advanced Japanese, and I'm learning a ton of grammar structures, advanced vocabulary, yes, that is useful and it's going to help me to engage with things like niche books that I'm interested in. But for the most part, I really want to challenge myself and have fun with my hobbies. So I read a lot, and even though it takes a really long time to get through a page, if there's a ton of new vocabulary for me, it's just a more fun, engaging method for me that I prefer. I'll take a whole page, I'll read one page at a time, and I'll look up all the words that I don't know. I will highlight them, and then I'll put them into a notebook. I'll write their meanings, and I'll look for a few examples. That way, I'm really engaging with something that I'm interested in and likely to be using the vocabulary for, because I cannot stop talking about things like World War II or journaling or productivity. Anyway, find your hobby, find your niche, and do everything that you can to find information about that. Online searches, forums, go to Twitter or X and type in the thing you're interested in. Podcasts, just type in a keyword. Let's say you're really interested in neuroscience and you're a bit more advanced in the language. Type in neuroscience in the language you're learning and see what can you glean from the stuff that you're seeing, interacting with, listening. Really here what you want to do is connect with a language and your real life interests. So if you're into gaming, find Let's Plays in Spanish. If you like working out, you can follow fitness influencers who make videos in the language you're learning. Speaking of your interests, I have to tell you about Skillshare. If you're not familiar, Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of classes on everything from productivity and creative writing to marketing and even language learning. And these range from beginner to pro, so you can go from just a dabbler to an expert in a few hours. Skillshare is designed by creatives for creatives, so the classes are taught by industry experts who are sharing their tools, techniques, and professional journeys with members. So recently, I've been on a journaling obsession. Ever since coming back from Japan, I've been wanting to level up my journaling and creative thinking techniques. And I've been using Skillshare to learn a bit more about how I can do that. At the moment, I'm taking a class on Skillshare by Amalia Andrade, who is an illustrator. It is called Crea tu propio diario creativo in Procreate. So creating your own personal creative diary on Procreate. So if you speak or learn Spanish, this class is definitely something that you can try if you're interested in expressing your emotions and feelings in Spanish as well. The first 500 users to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Remember, there's only 500 spots, so use the link to sign up now. Let's move on to how do you actually learn a language if you don't have a language tutor, teacher, or partner. Something I like to do because I live alone and it's super quiet and I have ADHD is just talk to myself. It sounds really silly, but talk to yourself and you'll realize, ooh, I don't know how to say that, or man, I haven't thought about this word for a while, and then you'll know what to look out for. Now, if talking to yourself is not something you're comfortable with doing, I totally get it. Journaling is a great way. So write in a journal super basic stuff like, what did I do today? What am I looking forward to? What am I grateful for? There's a lot of interesting rituals that you can incorporate by saying, every morning I'm going to write 2 things I'm excited for. Every evening I'm going to do a reflection on my day. If you incorporate this activity of planning, reflecting your day, writing about yourself, your interests, connecting it to language learning, you're going to feel more motivated. It's something that you think about and interact with every day. So the vocab words that you're going to be using, you're going to be using them over and over. Think about what you want to write about or talk about and use it as a way to teach yourself. You're not relying on a partner or a tutor here, but you're relying on, oh, I don't actually know how to say that. Let me look up that word. And this is where you can actually start using AI to your benefit. We are living in such a cool period where artificial intelligence is developing so fast before our eyes. When I started learning Korean like 12, 13 years ago, there was no AI. Barely any language learning apps for Korean, like probably none in like 2010. Now, people who are new to learning a language, you have the world at your fingertips, especially with AI. There are so many unique ways that you can actually be using AI in your language learning, and not just, hey, ChatGPT, give me 5 vocab words and example sentences, although that is kind of a good thing, which I need to be doing more. But let's talk about a few ways that you can actually integrate AI into your language learning. So what you can do is take a piece that you've written or, a voice recording or a few lines and submit it to ChatGPT or Gemini or even a language learning app where people can check your work for you. There's a ton of apps out there. You can check them out on lindybuddhist.com/resources and upload that piece to wherever it is so that you can get corrections. Let's say you're using ChatGPT. Say, hey, I'm at a beginner level in French and I've written this. Please correct my mistakes and give me alternative ways to say it to sound more natural. Ask them to correct your work, to see if what you've written is natural, to give you different ways of saying something, synonyms, adjectives that you can use to spice up your writing. Another way that I like to use AI is to just talk to ChatGPT, especially if I don't have people around me to speak to. I actually paid for the Pro ChatGPT subscription, which in South African rands is 399 rand a month. It is a little pricey, but I'm going to try it out and see how beneficial is this and how long can I be using it. もしハンガリー語できますか？はい、ハンガリー語もできますよ。何かハンガリー語で話したいことがあればお聞かせください。じゃあ、ハンガリー語で Szívesen, miben segíthetek magyarul? Szeretnél valamiről beszélni? Mit szeretsz leginkább rajzolni vagy tervezni? Mit jelent rajzolni? A rajzolni magyarul annyit jelent, mint to draw angolul. Tehát amikor ceruzával, tollal... Értem. Give me some sentences that use rajzolni. Persze. Íme néhány példamondat a rajzolni szóval. Another fun language learning gem you can use is memes. Honestly, memes in another language are next level. Majority of the funny reels I watch on Instagram are Dutch. They are hilarious. And then Korean memes, teach Korean, I use memes. I'll show them on my iPad to my student and we will discuss what it means, what the punchline is and why it's funny. So if you're struggling with discipline or motivation in a language, look at some memes. I would rather learn grammar from a meme than a textbook. any day. And then lastly, gamify your progress. You can set little rewards. So for example, every 10 new words you learn, you can treat yourself to 5 minutes of scrolling on TikTok, or you can go all out and create like a study journal where you give yourself little stars or stickers for completing a chapter in something. Or you can simply just write down how much you've done to get that feeling of, okay, this is, I can see myself progressing, right? Which of these learning methods have you tried, and what would you recommend? Leave a comment below and let's start a discussion on some more innovative, fun ways to learn a language. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more language learning tips and videos. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Doe je gewoon die pambami naar beneden kan pleuren. Hey. Ideaal is in Rotterdam. Doe je gewoon die pambami naar beneden kan pleuren. Hey.
At least I'm learning new words.